again, aren't you?
Believe there is a movement going.
It's in an ozone box. Even the Inquirer's going, I can't print that.
Johnny Carson sat behind that desk for 30 years and watched thousands of guests come and go. But only a handful ever made him lose control completely. Tears streaming, chair tilting back, show forgotten for a full minute. These weren't just funny people. They were forces of nature who turned a talk show desk into the most dangerous stage in television. Here's who made Johnny Carson truly lose it.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams didn't walk onto the Tonight Show set. He detonated on it. Other guests sat down, smiled, and waited for Johnny's first question. Robin never got that chance, because before Johnny finished his sentence, Robin was already 3 characters deep into a bit nobody saw coming. He treated the desk like a launch pad. 1 second he was a Shakespearean actor lost in his own poetry, the next he was a Russian immigrant discovering American plumbing, and seconds later he became someone's grandmother scolding the entire audience. Nobody, including Johnny, ever knew which Robin was about to show up. What made it electric wasn't just the speed. It was that every character felt fully alive, complete with a voice, a posture, a whole imagined backstory, all built in real time with nothing but a microphone and whatever object happened to be sitting on Johnny's desk.
To America.
Yeah, really?
Very few English. Look at the band. How you doing?
A coffee cup became a prop in someone else's story. A pen became a sword. The desk itself became a battlefield, a stage, a confession booth, whatever the bit needed it to be. Johnny Carson had interviewed everyone. He was famously hard to surprise. But with Robin, something shifted. Johnny stopped being the host and became the audience. You could see it happen on camera, the moment Johnny gave up trying to steer the conversation and just leaned back to watch the chaos unfold. His shoulders would shake, his eyes would water, and sometimes he'd have to turn away from the camera just to catch his breath. The genius wasn't only in the jokes. It was in how fast Robin could shift gears without ever losing the room. He could go from screaming absurdity to a quiet, strangely touching moment in the same breath, and the audience followed him there without hesitation. That range was rare.
Look at these people. Yes, I love, look at the man. Thank you.
Most comedians had one gear. Robin had all of them, and he used every single one, often in the same 30 seconds. Producers reportedly stopped trying to plan segments around him because there was no planning for Robin Williams. You gave him a chair and a microphone and got out of the way. What came next was never scripted, never rehearsed, and never the same twice, which is exactly why audiences and Johnny himself couldn't look away. Decades later, clips of those appearances still circulate, still get watched, still make people laugh the exact same way they did the first time. That's the mark of something rare. Not a performance. A force of nature that happened to land, for a few unforgettable minutes, behind Johnny Carson's desk.
But, would you welcome Mr. Warmth, Don Rickles?
Don Rickles didn't need an introduction. He needed a target, and the moment he stepped onto the Tonight Show set, he already had one in mind. Before he even sat down, he was roasting the band, insulting the audience, and taking direct aim at Johnny Carson himself. Nobody was safe. Not the crew, not the guests waiting backstage, not even Doc Severinsen sitting quietly with his trumpet. Rickles scanned the room like a predator looking for the next punchline, and whoever made eye contact became the joke. That unpredictability was the entire show. You never knew who he'd turn on next, which meant every second felt dangerous in the best possible way.
Compliments. Right. I think you find it more in our entertainment world.
Then came the cigarette box. Rickles was guest hosting one night and, mid-bit, smashed a box that had sat on Johnny's desk for 9 years. It wasn't planned as some giant moment, but Johnny didn't let it go. Days later, without warning, Johnny showed up unannounced on Rickles' own show to confront him live, in front of his own audience, demanding answers for what happened to his box. What followed was pure chaos, two men who trusted each other completely, throwing insults back and forth with zero mercy, both of them barely holding back laughter the entire time. Rickles begged, groveled, mocked Johnny's outrage, then somehow flipped it right back onto him. That kind of chemistry can't be written.
And Dean was great. He happened to be standing on the corner and somebody said, "Psst, you got a minute?"
It only comes from years of genuine friendship hidden underneath relentless insults. That was the secret nobody talked about. Rickles attacked Johnny harder than almost any other guest ever dared, mocking his marriages, his wardrobe, his haircut. Nothing was off limits. And Johnny let him, because he trusted Rickles completely. Most guests tiptoed around Johnny out of respect. Rickles ran straight through that line every single time, and Johnny loved him for it.
Dishes, I gotta bust my neck wiping all these dishes.
You could see Johnny bracing himself the second Rickles walked out, grinning like he already knew what was coming, and then losing it completely once the insult actually landed. It wasn't just comedy. It was two old friends who happened to have cameras pointed at them, one relentlessly attacking, the other helplessly laughing, unable to do anything but take it.
But we'll find out. Would you welcome Steve Martin?
Steve Martin never played it safe on that stage, and he never played it normal either. He'd walk out holding a banjo, or wearing an arrow through his head, or carrying some prop that made absolutely no sense, and somehow that was exactly the point. Nothing about his appearance was meant to look believable. It was meant to look ridiculous, and Johnny fell for it every single time. What made Martin different from almost every other guest was his commitment to the bit. He'd deliver the most absurd line with a completely straight face, like he genuinely believed what he was saying made perfect sense.
Sit down here, sit down. I hear marvelous things about it. Now, you don't have children.
Johnny would ask a normal question, expecting a normal answer, and Martin would respond with something so bizarre that the two of them would just stare at each other in silence for a few seconds before the audience completely lost it. That silence was the secret weapon. Martin understood something most comedians never grasp, that the pause before the punchline can be funnier than the punchline itself. He'd let dead air hang in the room, let the tension build, and just when it felt unbearable, he'd drop something so absurd that the whole studio erupted at once. His magic tricks were part of the act too, except they were designed to fail on purpose. He'd set up an elaborate trick with total confidence, botch it completely, then act as though nothing had gone wrong at all. Johnny played the straight man perfectly against that chaos, feeding him serious questions while Martin dismantled the entire interview with deadpan nonsense. Their chemistry worked because Johnny never tried to outshine him. He let Martin's absurdity breathe, reacting with genuine confusion and delight rather than trying to steer things back to normal. That restraint from Johnny gave Martin all the room he needed to push the ridiculousness further and further until the whole segment felt like some shared inside joke between the two of them and the audience.
Time, right?
Absolutely
I swear
not.
to the people.
Even simple desk props became part of the routine. A pen, a coffee mug, a stack of cards, anything within reach could suddenly become central to whatever bizarre bit Martin was building. Nothing was ever just a prop with him, it was a setup waiting to happen. By the end of these appearances,
Down with me, and like after the show, I'll make quick notes on how it went.
Johnny would often be wiping his eyes, completely thrown off by how something so simple had turned into something so absurd. That was Steve Martin's gift, taking total control of the room without ever raising his voice or breaking character, and leaving everyone including Johnny wondering what exactly just happened.
Mr. Bob Hope.
Bob Hope walked through that curtain like a man who had already conquered show business decades earlier, because he had. By the time he sat across from Johnny, Hope wasn't just another guest promoting a movie. He was a living legend, and everyone in that studio, including Johnny himself, knew it.
It's 2 weeks now. We haven't had musicians. They're supposed to be talking tomorrow.
What made Hope different was the sheer precision of his timing. Decades of stand-up, radio, and film had sharpened his instincts to the point where every joke landed exactly where it was supposed to, no wasted words, no hesitation. He'd deliver a line with the same effortless confidence whether it was his first show or his 500th, and that consistency was something Johnny genuinely admired. Their exchanges felt less like an interview and more like two professionals trading serves on a tennis court.
Wonderful medium. I don't know why we ever got into this stuff, you know.
Johnny would set up a line, Hope would return it with something sharper, then Johnny would volley back with his own twist, and the audience got to watch two masters of the craft simply enjoying each other's company. Neither one was trying to outshine the other. They were just having fun showing off skills that took a lifetime to build.
You're doing the commencement,
For my son.
Well, you've done that before.
Even in his later years, when most performers his age had slowed down considerably, Hope refused to coast. He'd walk out with fresh topical jokes, sharp political zingers, and plenty of self-deprecating lines about his own age, and somehow the delivery never lost its edge. Watching him work at that stage of his career felt like watching a craftsman who simply couldn't stop perfecting his art, even after there was nothing left to prove. Johnny's reaction to Hope was different from how he treated most guests. There was a visible respect, almost reverence, whenever Hope walked out.
I was buttering a bun back there.
This was the man Johnny had grown up admiring, the kind of old-school entertainer who represented an entire era of show business that shaped Johnny's own career. Sitting across from him wasn't just another segment. It was a chance for Johnny to work alongside one of his own idols. And Hope treated it the same way. He never talked down to Johnny or acted like some untouchable elder statesman. He engaged with him as an equal, a fellow comedian who had earned his seat at that desk fair and square. That mutual respect was obvious in every exchange, two generations of comedy legends trading jokes back and forth, each one clearly enjoying the rare privilege of sharing that stage with the other.